Hi, welcome to Dr. Mark's Music Notes. I'm Dr. Mark Runkles, and today we're going to learn about the early life of legendary jazz saxophonist John Coltrane. You might be wondering why we don't jump straight to the important aspects of Coltrane's playing and composing. To understand Coltrane's significant contributions to jazz, we have to understand background and context. As we work our way through Coltrane's life story, we'll see the various influences on his playing. We'll also run into some tenor saxophonists and other musicians who are worth checking out in their own right. My main source for biographical information is Chasing the Train, The Music and Mystique of John Coltrane by J.C. Thomas. I'll include a link to it in the video's description. We'll start from the beginning. John William Coltrane was born on September 23, 1926 in Hamlet, North Carolina. From age 3, he was raised in High Point, North Carolina. The Coltrane family moved in with John's mother's parents in High Point. John had two close childhood friends, Franklin Brower and James Kinzer. Coltrane's hobbies were baseball, cars, and movies. In this slide, we'll see how Coltrane got started in music. Reverend Warren Steele formed a community band in High Point in about 1939 based at St. Stephen's Church. Reverend Steele was a scoutmaster, so Boy Scouts formed the core of the band. Coltrane had joined the Boy Scouts and then joined the band. Coltrane had to miss the first rehearsal, so he started briefly on alto horn as it was the only instrument available. Reverend Steele recognized some musical talent in Coltrane and quickly switched him to clarinet. John would eventually switch to alto sax as a student before he made the switch to tenor sax as a professional. Coltrane's father died in 1938, so his mother moved to Philadelphia and then Atlantic City in search of work. She was a maid for wealthy white families. The Coltrane family was considered middle class at that time. John remained in High Point to graduate from high school. After graduating, he moved to Philadelphia with Brower and Kinzer. Coltrane worked in a sugar factory in Philadelphia and was accepted in the Ornstein School of Music. He joined the Navy in 1945 and was stationed in Hawaii for the end of World War II. He was discharged in 1946 at the conclusion of World War II and returned to Philadelphia, where he re-enrolled in the Ornstein School of Music. Coltrane was friends with tenor saxophonist Benny Golson and the Heath brothers. It is likely that he first heard Charlie Parker live in 1945. This would be important as Parker would be Coltrane's primary influence on alto saxophone. Coltrane joined alto saxophonist Eddie Vincent's band in 1948 and had to switch to tenor saxophone since Vincent was already playing alto and didn't want another. The switch to tenor wasn't permanent at this point, but it allowed Coltrane to escape the huge shadow cast by Charlie Parker and opened up multiple influences. Coltrane himself named some of these influences as Coleman Hawkins, Lester Young, Dexter Gordon, Wardell Gray, and Sonny Stitt. Of those five, Wardell Gray is the one I'm least familiar with. He was about 5 years older than Coltrane and was one of the saxophonists transitioning from swing era to bebop. Coleman Hawkins is considered the first saxophonist to make the instrument viable as a solo instrument in jazz. Hawk had a big sound with a wide vibrato and tended to play vertically. Lester Young was Hawkins's foil in the swing era as he had a lighter sound and vibrato and tended to play linearly. Dexter Gordon is one of the early bebop tenor saxophonists. As Hawk and Prez were foils in the swing era, Gordon and Gray were foils in the beginning of bebop, with Gordon following Hawk's sound conception. Sonny Stitt recorded extensively on both alto and tenor. Stitt has been one of my favorite saxophonists. His style is similar to the bebop style of Charlie Parker, but on tenor as well as alto. It's interesting that Coltrane names tenor saxophonists from both the previous eras of jazz, as well as players on each side of the tenor saxophone's dichotomy. Coltrane would incorporate aspects from both sides into his own playing. We'll pick up here next time with Coltrane's career. I would encourage you to check out the music of the saxophonists who influenced Coltrane, in addition to Coltrane's own music. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions, and click the subscribe button for notifications about more information on jazz and other musical topics. Thanks for watching. Play on.